hell is he doing? What the hell? What the hell is he doing? This is crazy. Listen guys, listen. Whatever Jasonjae is playing at, whatever type of game he thinks he has control over, whatever he's doing, last night made it very clear that he is totally clueless about what he's doing. Absolutely. Jasonjae is completely clueless. At this point, it's giving, I'm still in the house. I don't know what to do anymore. So let me just go with the flow. For real. I'm not impressed at all. I am not impressed. I mean, I listened to his conversation with Sultana yesterday evening in the garden, and I was quite disappointed. I mean, the portion of that conversation that was shown to us, right? I listened to it and it just did not really make sense. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this guy went into the diary room to complain to Big Brother about how much of a temptation Sultana has been for him in the house. How much he wants to go back home to a happy relationship with his girlfriend. Really complaining about a lot of things. And then Big Brother had asked him some questions that should likely point him in the direction of redemption, of redeeming himself. But then lo and behold, Jason took some of those things that he discussed with Big Brother, went to go and regurgitate everything to Sultana. The most annoying part was him trying to remember everything word for word to tell Sultana. I mean, I was just looking at this young man, and the one thing that kept on ringing in my head was, are you sure you know what you're doing? Are you sure you know what you're doing? Because, guys, remember what he said to Big Brother during his diary session. He said he had told Sultana about his relationship with his girlfriend outside, hoping that will give her a reason to caution him whenever both of them are going overboard with their emotions, right? And hoping that will sort of help her to put a stop to what they're doing. More like putting the blame on her. Guys, I did a video about that. Check out my previous video. So that was what he said to Big Brother. Now, Big Brother asked him several questions. Oh, are you trying hard enough to resist the temptation? What are you doing to, stop all of these things? And this guy carried everything to go and tell the same temptation. So what was he expecting? I mean, guys, make it make sense. What was he expecting? What was he hoping to happen? That, because Big Brother asked me several questions, you should stop at this. But then again, if you think about it, from the other angle, his conversation with Sultana was also given, get set, go. I need you to apply more pressure on me. It was more like him giving her more ammunitions to tempt him. That whole conversation opened up a new, I don't want to call it a Pandora box, but it sort of opened up a new dimension, that I perceive Jasonjae wants his relationship with Sultana to take. It was giving, I want her to apply more pressure. I want her to use this information to tempt me more so that we can actually do more crazy stuff in this house, so that we can actually trend, so that people are going to get talking about us. It was acting distressed. But at the same time, the fact that he was regurgitating his conversation with Big Brother to her, ladies and gentlemen, it also points to the fact that Jasonjae is not serious. He's not serious. He's not seriously looking for redemption. He's not seriously looking for a way out, an escape from this so-called temptation that he has portrayed Sultana to be. Because as he was talking to her, she was laughing. As a matter of fact, she made a joke out of it, because remember, she's from the north. So she was making a joke out of it that, okay, you just might want to begin to reshuffle, between herself and Dede, because he also told her about, oh, he talked about Dede as well, which was quite, I mean, really, what is wrong with the guys of this season? People always kiss and tell, kiss and tell. And as I was saying, she was making a joke out of it, talking about, Jasonjae can become one of these northern men who marry up to 4 wives, and then they spend maybe every week with each of the women, and then maybe the 4th wife, before it gets to their turn, it could be the end of the month. So she was laughing, making a joke out of it, talking about, that it could be reshuffling between her and the other girl, that's Dede. And Jasonjae was laughing about it. You could tell that they were all, guys, you could tell that they were both having fun about it. And she was kind of vulgar to some extent, saying things like, okay, I think while she was making the jokes, he said, fuck you. And she said, yes, I want you to, but not in here. And then when he was asking for her to explain, she said, oh, what I mean is you said, fuck you. And I said, yes, I want you to do that to me, but not in here, outside. And then it was like, oh my gosh. Like, it was acting like a damsel in distress. And I'm like, Jason, are you a princess? Are you a princess? Why are you acting helpless? Why are you acting like, oh my God, I don't know what to do? Like, really, why? Why? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that wasn't the only conversation that happened yesterday evening. There was also a conversation between Dede and Mide. Now, in their conversation, Dede was expressing her worry that Kola might go around the house spilling what had actually transpired between them the previous night. Now, she knows, she's fully aware that Kola has an unbridled tongue. She's fully aware that Kola has got a basket mouth. Anything that goes into Kola's head, it slips out of his mouth. And Kola allows it to happen that way. She's fully aware. So she was expressing her worry. And you could tell that she was kind of bothered. But Mide was sort of trying to assure her not to worry, that it's not like Kola has a lot of people that he talks to in the house. I said, Imo. Said that most likely the only people that Kola is going to tell is Bright and herself. That he might even tell only Bright, and Bright might not even tell her anything. Ladies and gentlemen, what these people do not know is that yesterday morning, Kola already went to Imisi to make a grand announcement that he and Dede, they kissed. That was the way he did it. He said he and Dede kissed. God. Meaning, he has confirmed it, that they kissed. That it wasn't a peck like we all thought. That it was actually a kiss. Ladies and gentlemen. This is hectic. Still in that conversation, they both started sort of rating Kola. Yeah? Rating his steez, rating his outlook. And of course, Mide was hyping him up a bit. Talking about, outside the house, Kola would probably be buffing up more than this. And Dede was like, oh yeah, true. Yeah, that she believes so. That she has told him that he's actually slacking up on his steez. Because earlier today, after our diary session, she had gone upstairs and she had seen Kola. He had not showered. This was about past 1 p.m. It was in the afternoon, and he was ironing his clothes. And she was like, oh, Kola, don't fall my hand. Like, formerly, you used to be one of the first people to shower in this house. What's happening? Anyways, the fact that she was even checking the time he showers, that was something, and she said that outside the house that she could be with him because he has sort of grown on her in this house. And then she had also admitted that she has noticed that Kola has gained a lot of emotional independence. That before, Kola used to be very restless, going around, talking. But now, it seems like Kola is calmer. And it seems like now he can now control his emotions. So I was listening to all of these nice reviews from Dede, and the only thing that was ringing in my head was, strong woman. I have a relationship. I have a person outside. Everybody don't scatter. The wall of Jericho has fallen down flat. Wow. And you see, it also made me wonder, does Dede really have a boyfriend outside? Does she? Because at this point, I don't want to believe that she has flipped the script, because our fans keep saying that she has flipped the script. I don't want to believe that she has flipped the script, because it seems like genuinely there's something there. She feels something for Kola now. So she had gone ahead to say that it's just surprising how things happen around her. That sometimes things just happen and people think that she's the one orchestrating those events to happen the way they happen. That she does not even have that capacity to be masterminding things that wants to happen. That it's not like she's a saint. She's no saint. But then things are just happening by themselves, you know, so it's not necessarily her trying to orchestrate anything. Now, the conversation moved on to Mide's relationship with Bright. Mide had asked Dede from the outside, you know, looking at her relationship with Bright, who does she think is more in love with the other person? Like, who is chasing the other person more? And Dede had responded that she doesn't think anybody is doing anything more than anybody, that they are just doing their own individual things in the relationship. And that was where Mide started purgating. Yeah, she was just expressing how in a way sad that she was, that every time she sees Denari and Doris's relationship, she wishes that she and Bright could have the same thing, that she just loves the way Denari does everything for Doris, literally washes her plate, picks up her plate, like cleans up after her, handles her like a princess, giving her princess treatment all through and through. Even when they go somewhere, maybe in the lounge, maybe in the garden, he's always keeping a seat for Doris. But with Bright, it's not even the case at all. That sometimes she will tell Bright, oh, help me wash my plate. And Bright will say, I washed it for you yesterday. Wash it by yourself today. So he's not really the type to do any of those things for her. It's more like, you do your thing yourself. I do my thing myself. You know, and sometimes she would ask and he would be like, well, the little ones I do, don't you see it? You know, so he's always telling her that she's not appreciative of the things he does. And then he was telling her that, don't listen to him, or he's actually gaslighting you, which I totally agree with. Because ladies and gentlemen, I've listened to the way Bright has described his relationship with Mide. And as far as I'm concerned, the only thing that guy wants with Mide in that house, and this is based on my personal observation of their relationship, the only thing Bright wants from Mide in that house is just a cuddle body. Yeah, not even proper intimacy, because people think intimacy is sex or kissing. No, intimacy is way beyond that. It's a deeper level of connection between people that are actually lovers or connected to each other, right? But with Bright, he just wants a cuddle partner. Somebody that he's going to shag whenever he feels horny. Somebody that is going to use to hold body, you know, as they say it now. Somebody he's going to use to hold his body like, hey, God, English. Fuck body. Let's put it that way. Let's put it the way it is. A fuck buddy. He just needs a fuck buddy. He calls her his therapist, but it's a lie. Therapist for his mandingo. That is what he needs. For him, he's already emotionally invested in his girlfriend outside. So for Mide, inside the house, it's just somebody that's going to be, you know, warming his bed, and that is it. And I feel like that's the reason he's not entirely invested in their relationship. He doesn't bother ensuring that she has breakfast, you know, all those little things that people in relationship does. He doesn't do any of those things. And also from his conversation with Kola yesterday, it just tells me all I need to know about his intentions for her in that relationship. If you were wondering about this conversation, I made a video out of it the other day or yesterday. So just go ahead and check it out. All right. Now, I was saying that it looks like Dede has developed feelings for Kola. Why do I say so? As our conversation with Mide was ongoing, she saw Koyin up the stairs and she called him to give her his wipes. He had brought the wipes and automatically our conversation with Mide had ceased. Now, they had made jokes, they had laughed, they had, you know, just enjoyed the conversation at that point in time, enjoyed their company. But then later on, when she had gone upstairs with Koyin was asking her what she and Mide were discussing. But unfortunately, she had done that. So that Tuesday, Big Brother had told her that they will revisit the conversation, or I think he said that there will be consequences to it, yeah. But anyways, the punishment came through last night, and her punishment is she would have to do the dishes beginning from today. Now, I do not know how long it's going to last, but that is the punishment. No housemate is to assist her in doing dishes. Every single plate in that house that every housemate uses, she's going to be the one that will be washing all the dishes. And then Big Brother had warned her again not to tell anybody the reason for her punishment. And I really do hope that Tracy listens to that, because Tracy might come across as a very, very quiet person, but she talks too much. She does. She does. And she knows that she talks too much, because same yesterday evening in the garden with Zita, she was explaining to Zita how she had been irritating certain housemates, you know, because she's always bored, how she goes around asking different housemates, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, so for something that has become too often, it's now beginning to irritate most of the housemates, that she even went to go and ask Sultana, oh, what are you doing? When she could see clearly that Sultana was opening a jar, and Sultana was so irritated that the way she had actually responded to her was so offensive. So she was saying that, oh, she's going to stop it. I said, no, don't stop it. Every time you are bored, you are bored, you're bored. When you're coming to Big Brother's house, didn't you know that you were going to be bored? Oh, my God. And then there was a bit of a back and forth between Rude Boy and Zita in the head of house lounge, which was quite weird to me, because for me, it just felt like Zita wanted highlights. It just felt like she wanted to argue with Rude Boy, because she was complaining about Rude Boy's attitude towards Mide, about something, or Rude Boy had finished eating and I told Mide to clear his plates. So she was insisting that he had been rude about it. But he was trying to explain that no, that is how he jokes. But she was very adamant that no, you're not joking, you're not joking. But the guy, see, I was even exhausted listening to that conversation, because for me, I'm thinking, Zita, what's your point? What's your agenda? No, what's your agenda? But anyways, they were able to have the conversation and it was over. And then Big Brother started terrorizing the housemates late at night. I already did a video about that. All of the details is on my previous video. So if you missed out on it, go ahead and check it out. But in the meantime, I'm going to stop talking here right now, because I've exhausted all the conversations that happened last night. So go ahead, let me know your thoughts, the comment section below, especially about Dede developing feelings for Kola. Because ladies and gentlemen, hey, all of our fans that keep on saying that, oh, she has flipped the script. I want to know what script she flipped, because at this point, I do not see any script playing out. So just share in the comment section. I'll see you guys on my next video. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing, amazing day.